Patrick Vallance had advised Cabinet on the 13th of October 2020 that young people suffering from long COVID was a relevant policy consideration in relation to discussions about shielding the elderly only. Why didn't you think it was important to advise him about the risk of COVID-19 causing long COVID in the young?
Well, I think, as I say, if I thought that there was a decision that the Prime Minister himself needed to take where this is a material issue, I would have addressed it. It wasn't part of my job, I still don't think it's part of my job, to disabuse even senior political leaders of things which I'm not convinced they fully understand, where I don't think it's material to the public health outcomes.
Did you not think it was important, as Chief Medical Officer, to ensure that he had that level of knowledge, particularly given the indiscriminate risk of long COVID?
Only if it would have made a difference to decisions that the Prime Minister himself had to take. That is in a sense, that's the question. It's not my job to try and provide public health more wide information where that's not going to have an implication, given all the other needs. I did want to do a lot for long COVID. We did do a lot for long COVID, but it was in the research and in the treatment spheres, not in the political sphere.
All right, well, leaving October aside, can I take you now to February 2021, when Mr Shaffi had sought from you a proper briefing on long COVID for the Prime Minister? And of course, you know that was the same month the spring roadmap on the release of restrictions was being drawn up. Did you advise the Prime Minister then about long COVID in February 2021?
Yes, but the exact point where, so as you will recall from, because you've read the correspondence, my view, having a lot of experience of having discussed things with the Prime Minister on other areas, was that where he was going to have to think through an issue where he had one position and move to another position, it was less likely to work by just giving him a document. So I wanted to have a conversation with him, and I wanted to do so at a time it seemed to me we could have a serious conversation. I'm confident we did have a conversation, and I can't recall exactly what the date is, unfortunately. I would have chosen a moment I thought it was likely to be most useful to have the conversation, and I then followed it up with a subsequent